Good evening, everyone.
Good evening to you, Mr. President.
We just received word from our radar base on Okinawa that there's a fleet of Chinese battleships approaching Japanese waters. It's possible it could be in preparation for an attack.
The Japanese have informed us that they're mobilizing their military in response. They think an attack is imminent. You know, of course, that since we're an ally, we're obligated to support them in the event of a war.
So, should we mobilize our forces?
No, we're not sure they're attacking. Besides, a war would be so horrifying, we have a duty to try to find a diplomatic solution. Now, let's wait.
Excuse me. I have a point or two to make, Mr. President, if I may.
Of course.
Mr. President, I don't think that's true. Our options are actually quite limited, in my opinion. In fact, by now we'll be lucky to avoid complete destruction.
What? How can that be?
That, Mr. President, is the Dongfeng 21D carrier killer missile. It is a ballistic missile designed specifically to destroy our aircraft carriers, and we are completely defenseless against it. Then there are the thousands of missiles they have pointed right at Guam and Okinawa, ready to launch at the push of a button. So if we wait for China to make the first move, as my distinguished colleague was suggesting, they will launch all of their missiles and completely annihilate our forces in the Western Pacific.
My God. Annihilate them?
Yes, annihilate them. Completely. So as you can see, this is a very desperate situation.
So what should we do? What decision are you advocating?
A preemptive strike with everything we have.
Do you realize how catastrophic, how devastating a war could be? Do you have any sense of the human cost? We don't even know they're attacking.
Of course I understand. Absolutely. Maybe if you were a better diplomat, we wouldn't have gotten to this point. But given our options, war is the only choice left.
You're not taking this seriously, are you?
I don't know. I can't decide.
Hello.
What's going on? Has the president made a decision yet?
No, I'm still working on them. Do something for me, will you? Take all your jets, send them right at Chinese airspace immediately. Hopefully they'll do something aggressive in response.
That's a good idea. Don't let those damn liberals steal our war.
I won't. Good evening. Thanks for coming. Good evening. I'm not going to bullshit you. It's devastating. It shows that China's going to have military superiority in the Western Pacific by 2020. We'll never be able to win a war after that. and the balance of power continues to shift in their favor as time goes on. You know what this means. We have got to get this war started just as soon as we can. Now, I'll do everything I can to get it started, but the rest of you have got to be ready when it comes.
Is there any news from the Chinese Navy?
Just a minute. Mr. President, you asked me that 5 minutes ago. The situation has not changed. And I'm on the phone with the Russian foreign minister. He wants to know what you're going to do.
Tell him I'm weighing various options and I haven't made a decision yet.
He's right, Mr. President. Time to make a decision. Every minute you wait puts thousands more lives at risk.
What are you trying to do? I've served in combat. I know what war is like, okay?
So do I.
Well, then why are you so anxious to get us into another one? I'm trying to get this thing solved.
We need to mobilize all of our forces for a first strike. Immediately.
And what do you want?
Just wait. Let me do my job.
Okay, I've thought about what you've said and I've made a decision. How about this? A partial mobilization. Not a first strike, but we'll leave that option open.
He's still there.
Do it. I'll keep working on him.
Yes. Yes. What? Mr. President, the Russians have just announced that if we attack China, they're going to fight on their side.
War with Russia and China? Oh my God, that's insane. All right, cancel the mobilization.
Agreed.
What? You can't be serious. We get to fight China and Russia at the same time? Wipe out all our enemies in one fell swoop. I couldn't have dreamed of anything more wonderful. Let's stop pussyfooting around, Georgie. We all know Russia and China's the enemy. Let's get this over with. Settle affairs once and for all. Come on, Mr. President. You don't want to be weak, do you?
You lunatic!
Weak? No, of course not.
Well, you're being weak.
He's goading you, you fool.
Why all this fear? Because the Russians made a threat? They're bluffing. And if they're not, so what? We fought a two-front war in the past. We can do it again.
I promised the American people I'd be measured and steady. I just don't
You know
think-
what? Just wait. If you don't want to make a decision, don't. I'll take care of it myself.
Yes, do that. Thank you.
Hello, are you still there? So just tell the Chinese not to do anything aggressive.
Mr. President, they're attacking. We've just gotten word of more Chengdu J-10s near Okinawa.
See? They're attacking. You have no choice.
I think you're right.
Look, if there are no other choices, I'll be 100% behind you, but we still have more options.
Look, I know you feel anxious about it, but I, for one, believe in you. You're making the right decision.
Yes, I agree. I'll do it.
Mr. Secretary, stand away from the President.
Are you threatening me?
You heard what I said. Why don't you go lie down a little while so the President can carry out his decision?
What is going on? I served in Desert Storm, you piece of shit! What have you ever done for this country?
Remember this moment, George. The dawn of a new American century.
Are you sure that was really necessary?
Of course it was. You have to be focused on the task ahead of you. You can't have any distractions at a time like this. You're sure about your decision, right?
Yes, I'll attack. Are you sure there's no other option?
Absolutely. Just give me 1 second, I will give the orders. There. It's done. Boy, people are going to be pretty surprised tomorrow, aren't they? You know, Mr. President, this may be premature, but I thought I would bring up my plan for what happens after we win the war. We're going to divide Russia and China into impotent client states. Then we'll really get this empire going. We're gonna annex Canada, destroy Iran, set up permanent military bases in Central Asia. There won't be a bit of air our planes can't fly. There won't be a spot of water our ships can't sail. There won't be an acre of ground we can't put troops. Full spectrum dominance of the entire globe. That's the goal. We'll pull so far ahead, there won't be a challenge to our military hegemony for 100 years.